Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to my channel, where we review the popular culture of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we have another Soul of Chogokin review today. It's the second in the line, GX-02, the Great Manzinger. This is a follow-up to our first review of the original GX-01 Soul of Chogokin, Mazinger Z. Let's have a look at the box and get right into it. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this guy. The box is, again, very much your standard fare for the original series of the Soul of Chogokin. Unlike the Mazinger Z, which had a orange type of motif, this one has almost like a cyan type box color. The hero shot here is, of course, Great Manzinger in one of his signature poses. He's got his amazing sword, his drill punch with, just pointing to the sky, looking really, really heroic, especially with his devil wing there in the back. Yeah, very simplistic design. Obviously the Ban Dai logo here, some promotional advertisements, and again, 15 and up, I guess. If we were to take a look at the top, again, pretty simple, Great Manzinger. There's the lightning that strikes whenever he docks, which is awesome. GX-02 branding. I believe the bottom is pretty much exactly the same. Yep. The right side is, again, just a Great Manzinger with some more branding down here. And on the other side, we have the Great Manzinger here. Oh, there's the, that's interesting. They put the official Toei sticker here. Interesting. Okay. And then on the back, we have some of the gimmicks, which are obviously featured, like the Brain Condor, which docks right into the head of the Great Manzinger, obviously. Scramble Dash, which is the actual devil wing. I always call it devil wing. The it comes with looks like it comes with a pilder. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Okay, it's it's an extra pilder which can actually fit into the Mazinger Z. Interesting. Here we can see a size comparison between the two. Very, very cool. The huge hero pose with the double swords, just awesome. And I love that lightning strike, just great. The atomic punch with their launching gimmick, which is awesome. The great boomerang, which comes off of his chest, which is always great. The naval missile, they finally got it right, yes. Belly button missile, that's always what I've always wanted to call it. And of course a display stand. Alright, so let's just reset and we'll get back into it. Alright guys, let's open this bad boy up. So, I've always admired the way the Japanese packaging designers are able to cram so many things into such a small amount of space. And this is no exception. So, this is interesting. We have all the accessories here, which is always great. And more accessories here at the bottom of the styrofoam. Alright, I'll put that aside. And then, yeah, actually this is way more compact compared to Mazinger Z. And I think this is the beast himself. As we can see from the top, there he is. Alright. So, let's reset and we'll get right back into it. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the things that are included here. Let's just move that aside. And okay, so this is the stand, obviously, and it looks like just like with the with Mazinger Z, there's a little bit of assembly required. Some of the missiles here, I think. Looks like another pilder or another jet scrambler. It's interesting. Some more missiles, I guess. More missiles. Huh. How many missiles does he have? Okay. Oh, okay, so here is the... Oh, this is cool. They peg it down for shipping. That's awesome. Okay. This is the Great Boomerang. You guys can see that. Awesome. Put that down, and I will replace these. Hey. Yeah, just go back in there. Okay. Tight little styrofoam pieces. Okay. Then we have the stand itself. Very cool. They really take great care in packaging these things. Oh, look at this. Great. I don't have to assemble this one. All right. So, this is, of course, the Scramble Dash. Looks like there's some, yeah, just like, oh, cool. There's one of the gimmicks. Looks like there are 2 buttons here. That is really wicked. I love little mechanics like that. Oh, they were just so cool with toys if you had little mechanics like that. And yeah, this one is pretty amazing. Look at the size of that wingspan. Whew. Just crazy. Okay, so that will do it for this portion here. And we have a great selection of different accessories. Let's put it this way. So this one looks like the drill punch. This one here is definitely the atomic punch. Looks like it anyway, one of these two. I think it's this one. These look like the regular forearms. The double swords, which are just epic. That looks like the launch display. And yeah, here we have the examples of the Brain Condor. This is the actual hero version, which docks right here, which is always wicked. Then we have the actual Brain Condor, which docks right into the Mazinger, the Great Manzinger himself. And then, yeah, they include another Pilder, which is really, really cool. Awesome. Okay, so we'll decide on what to use from there. You know what, let's just do it right now. So, oh gosh, I have to take the tape off. Okay. Oh, everything's gonna fall out. Okay. So you know what? Let's just do one of the quick poses here. Let's grab a drill arm combo, and let's launch one of the. We'll try one of the gimmicks as well. Come on. There we go. All right, we'll go with that. And later, just to finish it off, we'll grab one of the swords. We'll do that last. I'm gonna need the Pilder, the Brain Condor, sorry. And yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay, perfect. So we'll put that away. And now that everything's vomited on the floor here, I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna unveil the masterpiece himself. Wow. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The Great Mazinger. So let's take him out. Ooh, he's shiny. Okay, we'll grab him from here. My. He is definitely taller than Mazinger Z. Mazinger. And, you know, everything about him is just more imposing. Okay, so just on first inspection, it seems like most of him is die cast. Yeah, this entire torso is pretty much die cast. I can feel maybe this might be plastic here, these little flares here, but these portions are definitely die cast. These knee guards, they seem to be plastic, but the legs are definitely die cast. The torso is die cast for sure. Arms die cast. The head is definitely a plastic sculpt. That's 100%. I don't think they would have been able to get away with that. Oh, cool. He's got pivot joints in his knees. Can you see that? That's something that was an improvement from the Mazinger Z. He didn't have these little pivot points. That's neat. Okay. And yep, he's got ratchets for the knees. Oh, that's interesting. They don't seem to go 90 degrees. They only seem to go about 45s. That's interesting. He's got ball joints in the ankles, which is excellent. And yep, we got a lot of great movement here. Lots of ratchet joints here as well. Great stuff. Okay. And I think there's one more. He also, I guess this is where they got the idea for Getter Dragon, because he's got the tail fins here on his legs for flying. Really cool. All right, so let's reset and we will put the Great Manzinger together. Okay, so let's put the Great Manzinger together. So this is, if you can see that, let's zoom in a little bit. This is the launching gimmick. It's pretty cool. There's a spring. I couldn't show this with the with Mazinger Z, but it has a spring-activated launcher right here. And once you put the forearm in, let's see if I can do this properly without losing one of these forearms. So this is the forearm itself, as you can see. Wonderful attention to detail here. There is a bit of flash. You can actually see that here, but it's so negligible. I'm really not that picky. I know some people are really particular about these things, but for me, it's just a small detail that it's not going to break the bank for me. All right, so the way it works is you take, as anybody who's played with toys in the 80s, you take the peg, you slip it in the hole. You take this peg, which is right here inside the forearm, you slip it into the hole. I know there's a joke in there somewhere, and then you allow the two to join together. You can feel that there's a spring, because you can see that little spring action there, right? And the way it's supposed to work, now I've really killed myself here. I think what we should do is we should actually rotate it a bit. Now you can, I would not recommend doing this too often. So what you want to do is you want to have access to the release mechanism, which is right here. Now once you're ready, you basically just pull and boom, it literally, wow, that spring is really tight. It literally shoots out. Now back in the 80s, this was not an issue at all, but sometime around the 90s, parent groups and other sort of concerned, I guess, for children's safety, decided that this was not such a great idea, and these sort of launcher toys, they were pretty much discontinued. But the Japanese obviously had no problems with it. So, you know, me personally, I think that this is just awesome. I love launcher toys, and they're just so sweet. Okay, so you know what? Let's put this together, and I'm gonna say this. Pushing it is a little bit difficult. You see how just pushing it doesn't really do much? The easiest way for me to do it is just to release it a little bit and push in and then let it go, and then it'll lock into place. I think that's a really quick tip there for anybody who, when you get these toys, definitely look at that, okay? So, yeah. All right, so that's ready. And let's add the fist, and here it is. Again, wonderful sculpting here. Great attention to detail. See all the rivets and the hands. Really pays close attention to the way the anime and the manga was designed. And just to show you, I'm going to also show you the slightly opened version. So that's the opened version. Again, there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, this one obviously is for gripping something. Oh my gosh, I am. Yeah, see the it's to grip the shaft here for the sword. There is a phallic joke in there somewhere, I'm sure. Now this is interesting. It doesn't really hold the... Okay, that just looks wrong. It doesn't really hold the sword very tightly. It's sort of loose. Yeah, it's weird. Usually with the other ones they're kind of tight, but I suppose they were experimenting in the early stages with the grips. So you can see it kind of wobbles around, right? Interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that so that we can move on. But yeah, that's that. All right, so let's attach the fist to the actual wrist here. Nice tight fit. There we go. All right, perfect. So this one is ready to go. Now for the other one, we're gonna take his drill arm, which I love the detail on this. Let's take a quick look at this one, guys. So again, the attention to detail is incredible. Each of these drill portions are so intricately detailed, and the painting, you know, it's so well done. There's a little, it seems to go just a little bit outside the lines, but not enough to break the bank. It's so, you know what, and actually I actually think that's the light that's actually making the bleed. I actually don't think that there's too much bleed on any of the white surfaces. I think they paid really close attention to this. It's great. Okay, this is a launch arm again. So we're just going to take the launcher on the other side, and we are going to do the same thing. Going to take this, and as I said before, pushing it is kind of, you can do it, but I prefer pulling it back and then letting it go after it locks in, right? And again, it is a launcher, so it does launch. Great launching action, right? Excellent, excellent piece. All right, and for this one, I'm just going to do, just like in the box cover, let's take a look at the, so this is the pointing finger. Looks like something from Facebook or Instagram. Great detail here, as you can see. The sculpting is quite nice. Really great attention to detail. Okay, so let's just put this together. Just like that. Beautiful. All right, another complete forearm. Perfect. Okay. All right, so now let's just zoom out and we'll put some of these things together. All right, there he is. Now, you guys know I love these magnet joints. Oh my goodness, they are just incredible. And of course, you just kind of, boom, it just snaps right in there. Again, with this one too, we just go like this and boom, you can hear the clicking, right? Let me pull that out again and we'll just go just crazy. I really am in love with these things. Like, the Japanese are so innovative. You know, obviously this is a premium product, this is a premium toy. it's one of those things where, you know, you really wouldn't expect to see something like that in a non-die-cast toy, really. Okay, so let's put on the Great Boomerang. Once again, it's magnetized, so beautiful sculpt here. Let's just zoom in on that. Just a wonderful sculpt. I mean, you know, it's a simple design. Obviously, it's just a V, but it really is faithful to the show. And you know, the concept with the magnet and how to hold it in place properly, just great. All right, so let's zoom out again, and really simple. Just position it, and it'll snap right in. And pretty much that's it, guys. I mean, that is the Great Manzinger as he's supposed to look. But we can go even a step further. The Great Manzinger has additional details for his fighting mode. Now, I had to cut these off the trees, but he's got these little knee spikes which attach to his knees here. I'll just zoom in on that. Again, wonderful attention to detail here for the knee spikes. I'll be attaching those in a second. Okay. And then he also has shin blades. Now this is for, like, you know, they appear whenever he needs to fight certain types of enemies, and he can just deploy these, and they just, like, you know, come out of the actual alloy, the Chogokin alloy, if you will. All right, let's put these on. So the way to put these on is you have to open up his knee like this, and there are 2 points where you can attach. There's one here, and there's one here. So you want to sort of put the first one at the bottom, like that. See what I did? I actually just hooked it in there, and it sort of holds. And then you want to just sort of, right there, negotiate it to the top. And there you go. The cutting shin is on there. We'll just do the other one really quickly. Again, hook it from the bottom, open up the joint, and position that out. That is great. Okay, so Mazinger is almost ready on that department. Now for the spikes, they're really very simple. You just kind of slip them on, kind of like shoes. So there are 2 little hooks here, right there and there, and you can actually just slide them onto the knee itself. Oh, look at that, the knee actually bends. I did not even realize that. That is so cool. All right, so for extra stabbing motion, I guess. All right, and then we'll do the other one as well. Remember to turn it around, because this portion here, it's meant to lock it in, right? But you have to turn it around so you can see the gap, and then you can actually just slip it right on. Right, gotta open it up, bring it down a bit, there we go. All right, so I suggest opening it up and then push the knee down, and you can actually get that in there properly. Okay. All right, so let's zoom that out and we'll show you what he looks like. Wow, he is pretty much all assembled. But there are a few other gimmicks, obviously, that we want to talk about before we start posing him. So the scramble dash is the way the Great Manzinger flies. Now he has another glider attachment, but that was, I think, in the earlier part of the show, before they developed the scramble dash. So this one's red, it really matches his profile, so I prefer this one. This one's got a great gimmick where the two things, the 2 wings just expand like that, which is awesome. All right, so let's just attach this to his back, So, as always, with most of these figures, zoom in here, he has the whole attachment here, and that joins up with the actual magnet attachment here. So if we take those together, and boom, literally, again, magnets, oh geez, it's actually kind of strong. It just clicks in, it's just so awesome. Okay, so now, Great Manzinger is pretty much complete. He really is a foreboding devil type looking menace. I mean, really, he is. He's just so ominous. And I'm wondering if you know, Go Nagai was thinking that originally when he, oh shoot, you know what? I'm an idiot. I've totally forgot. Guys, let's really do this properly. Hold on. I'm gonna take this off. Let's do this properly. Technically, you shouldn't have the additional armaments here, but we have to do this just like we did before. All right. Let's have our docking procedure. Docking completo. Sorry, I just had to do it. Wow, he is pretty awesome looking. The figure himself is wonderfully sculpted. The head sculpting, the sculpting on a lot of the gimmicks, just his body itself, all the die-cast features. It really is a wonderfully designed figure, very truthful to the anime and manga. And again, it's just a treat to be able to own one of these Chogokin figures. If you guys have ever wanted to get one of these, I suggest pulling the trigger. It really is an amazing figure, no matter which era you come from. The design itself is timeless, which is probably why Ban Dai chose this particular figure as the second version to release. Mazinger and Great Manzinger have always been some of the great favorites in the Japanese toy culture, and it's obvious why. Great Manzinger, just like Mazinger Z, is incredibly posable. He has all these great little joints, and he can pivot his head, he can move around. His legs can, and there's more articulation with the rotation of his legs. So they really did spare no expense in trying to make this figure even better than the last one that they released in GX-01. Just have to negotiate a few things here. He's got little pivots in the pelvic region as well, which are always just awesome. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Great Manzinger himself. Now, just before we end, I do want to take the opportunity to show you the Great Manzinger sword. Oh, I'm sorry. Swords and robots are just a match made in heaven, aren't they? Just incredible. I really want to put together these two giants of mecha. They really are quite the pair. And now that you see them side by side, you actually can tell the major differences between the two figures. You can see that Mazinger Z has more bluish tones, whereas Great Manzinger is a very navy blue in all of his details. I think Mazinger is a little bit more deeper red, whereas the Great Manzinger seems to have a little bit more of a brighter red. These guys really look great together, and I really am very lucky to own them both. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed our look back at the GX-02 Soul of Chogokin Great Manzinger. He really is an amazing toy. If you're interested in picking one of these up, I really would suggest looking on Amazon or eBay. If there's anything left, I'll try to put a link on the description below. Again, these are some of the original figures, GX-01, GX-02, so they are a little bit hard to come by these days. Anyways, I'll try to put a link in the description below if I can find anything. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, it really helps me out. If you have any comments or questions on anime, toys, collectibles, or anything else you'd like me to review, please leave that in the comment section below. And consider subscribing, as I have a lot more episodes on the way. Also, please share this episode with someone you think might enjoy it. Well guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more reviews like this one. And as always, thanks for watching.